Hello, my fellow crafters. So it's late here, but I need to get this Ciroc set completed tonight so I can mail it out tomorrow. So let's get it. Alrighty, so I'm going to start off with the bottle. I've already cut all of my images out. Everything has been measured properly. And I will leave the measurements below. So if you've watched any of my other videos, you'll notice that I use a lot of tape for my tumblers. I do not use nearly as much tape. For my bottles, because I don't need it. As I pull a lot of tape off of here. Yes. But just like any other item that you all sublimate, you want to make sure that that paper is on there good and tight, because again, you do not want to leave any room for air, because if you do, you're gonna get ghosting, and you want every piece of image onto those items, because these items are not cheap, y'all. They are not cheap. Okay, here we go. So the bottle is all taped up almost. Here you go. Okay, so the bottle is done. Okay, so now I'm going to start with the flask. You always want to be sure to take the top off, because if you don't, you may accidentally, I've never done this now, but if you don't, you just may accidentally sublimate it. And I use the oven, so you may accidentally sublimate it with that top on there. And I've never done it, but I don't know. I don't think it'll be a good turnout. And I don't want to waste it, because again, these items are costly. About $8 for the flask, but I don't want to pay. I don't want to waste the flask. I do have one flask that I messed up since I've been doing these, and it was just ghosting, honestly, because I tried to do the back of the flask, and regardless of how tight I thought I taped it, it still was a little bit of ghosting. So with that flask, I plan on glittering the entire flask. And y'all, I am a huge procrastinator, so yeah, that's been since November time frame. I remember because it was a birthday gift for my cousin, and so this is how I take my flask, and then I'm just going to do the other side. And again, I will leave the measurements below. It's pretty simple, you all, pretty simple. Now with my tumblers, when I reveal my tumblers, I'm holding my breath. I don't know about you all, but I hold my breath, just hoping like, be right, be right. They've been good, because like I said, I use a lot of tape, but I still get nervous, y'all, because I don't like to waste my supplies or product. I just like for a good turnout, as I should, as you should, as we should. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit at the bottom. Probably don't need it, but just in case. And then of course, because it's going in the oven, I am going to go over these with painter's tape. I use painter's tape and I use masking tape. I did purchase shrink wrap a while ago, but I have never used it. To be honest, It's in my craft room somewhere, but I've never used it. I just feel so comfortable, and I am pleased with my results with the painter's tape and masking tape, whichever one I use, whichever one is closer to me, but I have good results using both of those. So I don't know if you all noticed the image, but the image, you know, it's a little darker at the top and the bottom. So I like to make sure that I don't get any ghosting from that. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, and I'll go over it with painter's tape like I said. Okay, so here for the shot glass. So if you notice, for the flask and for everything else, minus the shot glass, I use the straight image. But for the shot glass, I use the tapered because the shot glass is tapered. Because there is some paper hanging at the bottom. You can cut it. I don't cut it, honestly. I don't see a need to cut it. But if you feel better cutting it, you can do so. But I just keep it as is. It doesn't hurt anything. Now for my tumblers, I would have cut it. Would have cut it. Okay, y'all. Forgive me, it's late. I just needed to get this out. So I just wanted to complete this and get it out. Okay, here we go. Now we have the... Okay, so for the coasters, be sure to peel the... I guess I already threw it away. But be sure to peel the clear film off. Don't know what will happen if you do not, but just make sure you peel it off because sometimes you could barely see it, but it's there. I have some round coasters that I just purchased. I hadn't used those yet, but I almost used it tonight because I thought I ran out of my square. But I didn't. I really don't need all this tape for this coaster because it's going up under that heat press, and that heat press is going to apply the needed pressure. Okay, same as the keychain. Make sure that you peel the clear film off both sides. And yeah, so I cut them out, and where did they go? Okay, I'll be back. All right, here we go. Just want to make sure it's even. Sometimes I just do one side at a time. Sometimes I just put both pieces on there together. And then, of course, I will tape it together as well. Make sure you cover it all. Okay, here we go. Okay, so this is how I usually tape it if I place both images on here together. It's like a sandwich. Or an ice cream sandwich. All right, here we go. All right, so everything's ready for the oven, and I will leave my temperature and time below as well. Okay, so I've already pulled the masking tape off of here, and I meant to show you all, but all I did was just wrap this in masking tape. So I pulled it out the oven. Inside is dark. It's a good thing. That's what we want. That is what we want. So, all right, let's just put this tape off of here. It is hot. I need to give me some more heat gloves because I'm always using my middle finger to pull the tape off. I have holes. Okay, so far so good. So far so good. Yep. Okay, that's it. Bottle is complete. Now for the shot glass here. Right now I have the flask in the oven. So for anything frosted, I actually do 400 degrees for 12 minutes. For the flask, I do 350 for 4 minutes. I do lay the bottle down, but I stand the flask and the shot glass up because they're a little shorter. But that's just for me in my oven. You probably have a bigger oven or a smaller oven, not sure. Let's look at the inside first. Okay, yes, it's dark down here at the bottom. Okay. Just like the image to show through. Yeah. Okay. Everything's done. Okay. Stay tuned for the flask. It should be done in a second. Okay, so I just pulled the flask out the oven. Now let's see what we have here. It is super hot. Oh Lord, the only disadvantage of putting a lot of tape on is having to peel it off. So what I do with my tumblers and my flask is after I peel the tape off, sometimes it's a little sticky residue left on here. So what I do is I'll take some the spray glue gun, wipe it off. And it's like the tape was never there. Then I go behind that with alcohol. Oh, by the way, I also wipe down my flask, my bottles, and my keychain. Everything, I wipe it down with alcohol prior to putting the paper on there. Okay, so far so good. If I can just get this tape off, you all. I will use my X-Acto knife, but I just may cut something up in here. Oh, come on. Then we just have the keychain and coaster left. And that'll be it for this set. But I don't think I'm done yet. I think I want to go ahead and try these Cricut coffee mugs that I purchased. I've never used the Cricut coffee mugs before. I usually buy my coffee mugs from Pro World, but I needed some today. Well, I actually just wanted some today, so I just caught a good sale at Joann's and bought a good bit of them. Okay, here we go.